Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap. So this movie was put on Peacock TV, Peacock TV, the app, and it's starring my girl, Miss Nate, Reginae Carter, called Boxed In. Also with Clifton Powell, Zane Copeland. It was good. It was definitely good. It was worth watching. It was definitely worth watching. So basically, it starts off with her character is Rhea. She's supposed to be like this boxer, and she's out fighting girls and stuff on the street. So Lori, played by her mother, I'm not sure who the actress is, but Lori is her mother, and she's on the phone with her father, which is played by Clifton Powell, and he goes by Pa. And she's telling her dad, like, listen, I've had enough with her. She seems like she's getting into trouble, and she can't do it anymore. So basically, when Rhea finishes her fight, she comes home. She got this big old mark on her eye. And basically, her mama told her, like, listen, I've had it up to here with you. I can't do this back and forth with you. Keep stepping out, sneaking out in the middle of the night, fighting girls, getting into trouble. So basically, Rhea told her, like, listen, it's all right. I'll move out, but I would just need a month. She was like, nah, I'm good. I got somewhere better for you to go. So fast forward, Lori drives Rhea to her father's house, which is her grandfather. And she's told that she's to stay there with her. So she gets there, and Lori doesn't give him a hug or anything, because that's, come to find out, the grandfather is her father's father. So their grandfather through, well, Lori's father-in-law through marriage, of course. So Rhea gets there, but before they get to the grandfather's house, they stop at this diner, and she meets this guy, and she's listening to him because he's trying to apply for a job. And the lady does not give him no time of day because she's a white lady. So basically, kind of find out she's not going to give him no job because of the color of her skin. She like the type of person that's going to be like, racist against people that's not her color. So yeah, she did that. Eventually, Lori, the mother, comes in, and she finds out that she's talking to this guy. She's like, listen, Rhea was like, I'm still waiting for the coffee. She was like, whatever, let's go. So eventually they get to grandfather's house. They greet each other. And the grandfather told her, like, listen, you're going to be staying here for a while. And he went to go get the bags and he basically let her know the rules. He showed her where her room was. And he made them dinner, which was grits and fish. I don't mind grits and fish either, like a good piece of fish. So eventually, Lori goes back home. Rhea, she's told what she has to do. She has to wake up early in the morning to do her chores and stuff like that, and read her Bible, and then write down what she learned, so that way it can help clear her mind and her head. So they have a miscommunication, and eventually Rhea storms off because also the mother and the grandfather took away her phone. So basically, if she doesn't comply with the rules, she can't get her phone. So eventually, all in all, she starts to come around. She tells her grandfather that she's a boxer. And her grandfather shows her this, I would say, keepsake box of pictures of when she was younger, and then her father. And she was like, well, so what's the deal with him? The grandfather told his side of the story and told how Lori felt about boxing towards the dad, because she feels that if boxing led him down the wrong path, and which helped end his death. But yeah, had her mother been a little bit more understanding and showed some compassion towards it, they probably would have been good, and he probably wouldn't have got into an accident and died. But anyway, so Rhea was happy to hear that story. She also kept a picture of him, and then she promised, to do right. So after she did her chores or whatever, she sees the guy again, which his name is Tugger. And, they start hitting it off. And he decided to, come by the house, which is Pa house, which his name is Mr. Witt, to work off any jobs he had to do. He can't pay him much, but he decided to, give her the job done. Anyway, so after that, she starts working back on her boxing stuff. And Tugger was telling her, like, listen, Mr. Witt, your grandfather is a good guy. He helped me out more than once in the past. And, you know, he tells me that you're really good at your boxing. And he just wants the best for you. So she starts coming around. Tugger and Rhea starts getting more acquainted with each other. So they decided to wash up and then go out to eat later that afternoon. And while they're eating and talking, getting a chance to know each other, Tugger sees his cousin across for them, Vaughn, played by little Zane Copeland, whatever. And he's talking to them, but his mind is spaced out because he's watching his cousin out the side of his eye. So eventually his cousin, Vaughn, comes up to where they was and was like, listen, I need you tonight and stuff. They was like, well, listen, I got you. Don't worry about it. So after that was over, they went home, and Tugger confronted his cousin like, listen, I thought I told you I'll be done by 10 o'clock. I'm about to go shower and we can go on about our business. And he was not trying to have it. So eventually Tugger brushed him off, went to go shower, and they do what they do. So basically, his cousin is the person that got him into doing bad stuff, like robbing and stealing and stuff like that. So Rhea found out that's why he went away at one point of time. So after that, they're getting more acquainted. He also decided to help Rhea with her boxing and her stance and stuff like that. Her grandfather as well. And one night, she took the opportunity to fight up against this girl named Little Chu, or whatever the case may be. And the referee, they was trying to play her like, listen, I may be a newcomer, but I got hands. So eventually she ended up losing that match. And then when she gets home, the grandfather starts talking to her. And he was like, listen, I was there. I seen you. And then, you know, he tried to tell her, like, listen, that's not what you should be doing. I think it's time for you to go sleep outside and see how it really is in the real world. And she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go stay back at Tugger. He was like, yeah, you do that. So since she left to go stay at Tugger's house, the father ended up having I don't know if he had like a heart attack or something, but something happened to him. And the mother called her and told her, like, listen, this is what's up. And, you know, she felt guilty because it's like, she noticed from before that her grandfather kept coughing a lot and all he drank was just tea. So, long story short, she came back home and apologized. And, you know, they was on good terms after that. Further down the line, Vaughn lets Tugger know that he's planning on robbing Mr. Witt because he got money. And Tugger was like, nah, don't do that. So basically, Tugger went on about his day. And, she had a match. And so they was there at the match. Because since Tugger knew about it, he didn't pay him the mind. So basically, while they were gone, Vaughn took it upon himself to go to Mr. Witt's house while Mr. Witt is laying in the bed. And he starts hearing stuff. And then he gets up in the middle of the night. And he was like, listen, Rhea, are you there? Nobody responds. So he gets up walking halfway throughout his house. And next you know, he puts his hands up. Come to find out, Vaughn shot him and stole the safety box out his house. Because when Tugger gets home, he realized that Vaughn is trying to open this safe. He was like, yeah, your boy, whatever you call me, grandpa, whatever. I'm just trying to figure out how to get into the safe. So he already felt and knew something was going down. So he went back to Rhea's house, which is the grandfather's house, and find out that Rhea, she walked in and saw her grandfather on the floor in the house. And they called the cops, and she can't go back in there. Tugger finally told Rhea what happened, and she basically cut him off. And she was going to go back home to figure out stuff with her mom. And they had the funeral for the grandfather. Come to find out, Rhea had to do this fight. Because the fight also was televised, so they also give you brand deals and they pay you for your time or whatever the case may be. So, after that, Vaughn, he takes Tugger, ties him up to this porch on his way back home from, you know, Rhea telling him to go home. And for some odd reason, Rhea did her fight. But she ends up going to Tugger's house. And she's broadcasting. And Vaughn basically has a gun to Tugger's head. And next you know, out of the bushes, Rhea comes and tells him, listen, I'm broadcasting this. Let him go. I heard everything. It's like that. So eventually, Vaughn ends up taking the phone from Rhea and having her lay down on the ground with her boyfriend. And he's threatening to shoot them. And he was like, put your head down. And when I counted 5 or whatever, I'm going to shoot you. When they got down to 1, he was gone. So at this time, Tugger and Rhea was able to get up after Rhea untied him. And they hugged each other and was like, listen, I heard everything. I understand. Whatever the case may be. After that, Rhea, she does her last and final match. She ends up... Oh, and her mother came to show her love and support. And she also told Rhea that her grandfather called and apologized and forgave her about how he treated her and stuff like that. And the same goes to Rhea. So after this, Rhea is now going on tour for her fighting. And Tugger is not going to see her no more. She eventually gets to meet his daughter. Shout out to DC Young Fly, his daughter. She is so beautiful. Like, oh my God, her first acting career. Like, she's going places. She plays his daughter, Maya. And it was just beautiful to see. She also told him that he should start opening his mechanic shop so that, you know, he can go far. Like, that way he can stay out of trouble and stuff like that. So after that, that was it. This movie was pretty good. The only thing I really didn't like about the movie, when it came to the fighting scenes, like, it was, like, so fake. Like, how you punching, but y'all not connecting. Like, it's, like, so much space in between the fighting that it was, like, that part was fake. I didn't really care for that part. But overall, the movie was good. It is a very good movie. But that's the only part I didn't like. If y'all check it out, check it out. Also, shout out to Tubi because that's how I was able to watch it. I know most people got the Peacock app. I ain't got it. But shout out to Tubi. Yo, y'all came in clutch. I was just like, that movie just came out, I think, last month? Like, yes. And I was able to check it out free of charge. It does have ads, but, you know, it is what it is. You get what you pay for or don't pay for. But overall, it was a great movie. Y'all should definitely check it out. Like I said, you can check it out on Tubi. Called Boxton, starring Reginald Carter, Clifton Powell, and Zane Copeland. And that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.